Okay,
so we're live. So I'll intro the show. Cool. Hello and welcome to the Legends of Tabletop podcast. We're getting ready to jump into another brand new exclusive scenario written by Oscar himself for our Cthulhu Invictus campaign. Super excited. The recap from last session is pretty short. We set out with the two Fae people to, go and help them take care of this six-legged cat creature that the prince was supposed to, show his manliness and go and kill with this huge, boar spear. And as soon as this shit hit the fan, the motherfuckers bailed out on us and left us to die. So, it was a real shit show. Neil's character, he's giving us the finger.
No, I'm giving all the Fae that have ever existed.
Screw them all.
Herminius almost died horribly. He was holding all of his guts in. It was gross.
It could have easily been a total party kill, other than some amazing rolls that I won't accuse of shenanigans.
One roll.
I said I'm not accusing a shenanigans roll.
Hey, I probably rolled dice like 40 times at this point in the game. 101 isn't that
right. The battle was
really mattered, of course.
The battle was decided by one amazing dice roll and one absolutely insane act of foolish bravery by wrestling a six-legged tiger off of a cliff. Like literally just I'm gonna jump on it.
I'm gonna grab its tail.
which literally grabbing a six-legged tiger by the tail, but keeping it from escaping so that the other people could get it. Because it was out of there. It was like I'll roll around in the mud and come back tomorrow and kill them.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. So
a ballsy epic battle. A great way to end the session.
So they came back. We're quite angry, but they tried to placate us. They gave us gifts. Macrion actually went to the Fey realm. It was something that he couldn't resist, much to the ire of his party. but and he was able to remember, which was fantastic. I love that. Luck points well spent, and then we were gonna head back to Camulodunum and collect up the rest of our dough and move on to the next fire to put out. That's where we're at.
Okay, so
I'm still angry, by the way. However long time has passed.
Never forgetting.
If you want to put up the map, I'll talk through where you guys are and where we're going.
I am going to try and pull it up here. Oh, that's not. What's happening? Let's see. Google Drive share, maybe? All right, do you guys see the map?
Yes.
There's the map.
That's magical.
Sweet.
Okay, can you scroll around on that?
I certainly can. We are currently right down over here. It won't center because of the size of the map, but this is where we're at here in Camulodunum.
Right. That's where you're heading. You were in the woods just north of that.
Yep.
Yeah. So you complete your journey to Camulodunum, and you meet up with your patron, one of the people who gives you work and supports you currently, who is named Fidelis Afer. And he's like, well, it took you a few extra days to get here. I expected you 3 days ago.
Jerk.
Oh,
I mean, I didn't say that out loud.
We had to sidetrack a little bit. There was a problem. A rider was sent. Told us to investigate a village. They had lost some sheep.
Oh, okay. I thought, Doreena would kill a wolf or two and that'd be the end of it. I didn't think that'd take you 3 days.
It was a little bit, it was a lot more than what we expected to get at the time.
You all seem okay then?
Yes, we are doing well. We're fine. Thank you.
I lift up my tunic and see this massive jagged scar across my belly. Please accept this as our excuse.
Oh,
I just shoot him
I
dirty
was
look.
not looking for an excuse, just an explanation. Again, I was just more concerned. He says, "So let's get you all paid up." I don't remember what he had agreed to pay you for delivering the message.
Was it
I think it was
500 apiece?
It's like 10,000 sesterces a piece.
Yeah, it's not happening.
No, it was 500. We got 250 before we left, and then the 250 when we come back.
Okay,
That
so
was for the first one.
he pays you the 250.
Now, after looking at Malachi's scar, how much are we getting paid for this one?
He says, "Well, Malachi, I feel absolutely terrible about the extent of your injuries on that little side thing. So, I'd like to make it up to you all.
Okay.
Yes.
I have a villa in Londinum that I don't get to visit as often as I like. I run most of my import out of Camulodunum because I deal with the cities in the north, and it's just quicker from here. And my wife's family is from here, so. But if you would be so kind enough as to deliver some dispatches to my freedman who oversees my villa, I would be more than happy to give you all full access to it. I'll give orders that you are to be treated as my guests. I have a wonderful kitchen staff there. They'll make you a few good meals. And my Ovidus, my freedman there, has contacts all over the city. I'm sure he can get you tickets to a play, perhaps the gladiatorial games, definitely any of the bathhouses you might wish to visit.
Are there any libraries nearby?
In Londinum, yes.
Excellent.
It's not as much. It's nothing that you'd be, not on par with, what you might be used to, Macrion.
Well, of course, but something to while away the time.
He says, "Oh, and there's another person who had inquired about if I knew anyone who was good at investigating things with subtlety."
Is
Go on.
something afoot?
He says, "I have a acquaintance. I don't know him that well, but he's the type of person you want to know. A young, up-and-coming naval commander in the fortress of Isca Augusta. He's looking for operatives to investigate a nearby town for possible human sacrifice."
Oh.
Excuse me, what now?
What?
He suspects the town of performing human sacrifice. Some sort of dark druid type of thing. It's a little bit out of my realm of expertise, but I didn't think it might. I thought it might be something more up your alley, Herminius.
Well,
Remember,
I
you are
suppose we can't
you are
have
known for being a witch
relaxation.
hunter.
Indeed, I suppose we can't have relaxation all the time. And yes, we will look into this.
Well, good. Take your time getting to Isca Augusta. I told him I would look into sending someone. I didn't give him a date. So enjoy Londinum for a few days before you head out. Deliver my dispatches to my man there, and enjoy a few days in the city
That's fantastic.
before heading over. And speaking to this man,
Okay.
I'll have
Seems...
I'll have
No, go
more
on.
information for you. I'll send, basically here he's expecting you at Isca Augusta. Just when you get to the gate, say that you're friends of mine,
Mm-hmm.
and that will be a signal to the guard there, and they'll take you where you need to go. I don't think he, for some reason, it's a very hush-hush operation. But the rates will be quite good. He's offering 1,500 sesterci for anyone who can solve this mystery for him. And you'd be working directly for the Roman Navy, so there's a contact that might come in handy one day.
Not a
Indeed.
bad deal.
And, I have lots of ships sailing the waters here. Having friends, having people in the Roman Navy owe me a favor or two wouldn't be such a bad thing either.
This would work well for all of us.
I think so. So, if there's anything else,
I don't believe so.
well, great. I have another meeting coming, and I'd like to grab a quick bite. If you like, go down in the kitchen, have my people fix you anything you want. If you wish to spend the night, they'll set you up with rooms. And you can set out for Londinum, well, whenever you like, actually.
Thank you.
Okay, so you are ushered out by his freedman, and you're pretty much free to do what you like with the rest of the day. You can start out for Londinum. You can spend a day in Camulodunum. Camulodunum. I never pronounce these right.
I do have a a herd of sheep that I probably need to check up on. Make sure they're all alive, Oh, and those breeding rams, yeah.
Okay,
But,
you check up on your sheep. They're being tended to by a pair of your cousins who watch over your sheep when you're not tending them yourself.
Okay.
You can, they say, oh, we've run up some expenses, but they're going to give you the report on how it's going. A few people have asked to buy a couple of your sheep.
Okay.
So, you spend an hour or two with them, but they're very capable.
Yeah, I just haven't been there in a while. And then I want to make sure that everything, all the gear and possessions I had prior are all restocked. Yeah, that was the other thing.
Well, that's a good market town here, so you should be able to restock anything within reason.
Perfect. Thank you.
So torn clothing can be replaced or mended, that sort of thing.
Oh yeah, I suppose I probably do need my tunic mended.
Mended or replaced.
Yeah, replaced probably because it's also blood soaked. And
I remember a couple of months after that, you were walking through bloody, excrement.
Yeah.
So you've had a couple of, things have been tough this autumn.
Right?
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I have to ask Oscar, I'm assuming Dorothea is not in Britannia, right? She's probably somewhere else.
Dorothea is your...
My lover, she's a goat herder.
I assumed that she was somewhere in the mountains of Greece.
Okay, yeah, I kind of figured the same thing. Okay.
Because you're from that part of the world?
Right. Okay. I don't have anything to do then.
Okay.
I just didn't want, after 6 more adventures, that my whole farm is done. Bad luck or something.
I think you can, if you give them 100 sesterci of the money you've already earned, that'll keep your sheep and your cousins well taken care of for the first, at least until spring.
Fair enough. I'll give him an extra 10 just to be on the safe side.
Okay. They're happy about that.
Good. I need my sheep, my rams.
All right. So, do you guys just want to set out? Is there, after you do some shopping, or?
Yeah, I suppose just a little bit basic supplies. I feel what are we with supplies for our travels for food and such?
Rations, yes.
Standard. Yeah, standard.
I imagine we would have gotten that while we were still in the villa, because we got to go downstairs into
Well, that's not for dried rations. That was like, hey, if you want my people to make you a meal before you head out, you're welcome to my kitchen.
Shucks.
But that wasn't like raid my pantry for traveling. Clean me out for the road.
I thought I had some special privileges here, but I guess not. Fine.
No, I can have my people make you a sandwich, but
Well, what time of the day is it, right? I mean, that's, if it's later in the evening or, later in the day because we walked all the way back, then maybe we wait till tomorrow and set out fresh, right? Like, we're just coming in off the road.
Yeah.
Right. So you guys want to leave in the morning?
Yeah,
yes,
probably.
Please.
That's a good idea.
Okay. You're put up in modest rooms in his house here. You don't see him again. You're woken up. With the money you guys have, did anybody want to buy like a cart and a donkey? Or I think horses are horrendously expensive.
A cart and a donkey isn't a bad thing, is it?
Yeah, no,
True.
at all.
I'm feeling a little tight for money because I really need to send most of this money to support my family back in Rome. But I'd be willing to contribute to the common good.
Yeah, I believe if we pool our funds, we should be able to find a nice donkey and a well-maintained cart. No,
I'm
with
willing to contribute.
A cart would be 50.
Jesus, all right.
You can go small carriage for 300.
Ooh.
Let me see if I own one. Probably not.
A donkey would be 50. A horse, like if you wanted a horse to pull the cart, a team horse is 1,300. A mounted horse is 2,000.
Oof. Donkey it is then.
Find this donkey.
You could upgrade the donkey to mule, which is bigger, stronger, and has more endurance, for 100.
Mule it is.
All right, so that's 150 sesterces.
Right. And that would allow you guys to kind of throw all of your equipment on the back of it and have two of you ride in the cart at a time.
Yeah,
Does that include the discount?
Excuse me?
The discount. I believe we were supposed to get a discount from. Am I forgetting something, or
actually? Well, Herminius. So all of you took the full payout of 500 sesterces, but Herminius took 250 and then shares in his business.
Okay.
Or the discount in the business. So could
you remember what the discount was?
I don't. I think maybe was it 10%?
Roll your persuade to see if it's 10 or 20.
Sure. Maybe I can up it because we did an extra job for him.
500 was the last job?
Delivering the supplies.
That is
that was
42 out of 70.
Okay, so you did make a success, so I'm going to say it's a 15% discount. So instead of paying 300 for, what was it, the cart was 50 and the mule was 100?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, we'll say 15% of that. That's
all right.
15 for all.
Like 20 off?
Yeah, that's 20, 25 off.
Cool.
Oscar, do we want to leave the map up, or do you want me to?
Oh no, you can
close
take it down. You can take it
Okay.
down. I just wanted to kind of give everybody an idea of
It's
where
kind of
we
nice
were.
looking at it though, but
We can leave it up if you want.
we'll put it back up later.
So, the guy says, since you're friends, we're going to upgrade the cart. So there's actually a this cart has like a cover. So it kind of has a tarp on some poles that arch over it to so if it rains, none of your goods will get wet.
Pimp my cart, and I like it. Nice.
He goes,
What happens when you know
this is
people?
usually a 15 sesterce addition to the cart, but since you're friends, we'll throw that in.
I will thank him
Thank you.
generously.
And he says, and this is one of our best mules. She's young. She comes from good lineage. Let me give the mule a name.
Yes, yes.
Daisy. Daisius, right? It's
Daisy is
Oh,
gonna be
yes.
adorable.
We're not naming the mule Daisius.
Well, maybe we are. You might not.
If you want, all right, hold on. We're gonna look up the Latin word for daisy.
But if it's really
Oh.
complicated, we can't.
Oh, shit.
What
Watch
is the
be like
scientific name for Daisy?
something inappropriate.
I'm sorry, I'm distracted. I copied a fucking meme, and it's the cat sitting at the table and the chick. pointing at it
The
and all
ladies
stuff.
screaming at each other.
So it's somebody holding Trump back, and he's doing the pointing, and it's the count in the other window, and it's got like a fucking million.
From Sesame Street.
Yeah.
All right.
So the
Okay.
common the scientific name for Daisy, the genus, is Bellis. Bellis.
The Latin word for daisy is primula.
Primula. Oh, that's nice.
Oh, that's pretty.
Pri. So it's primula. So primula is not bad. So if you want to name her Daisy, her name is Primula, and I'll allow it.
Okay.
Okay, so
And
with
she is a
Daisy, you
mule,
make.
so
I don't know if you do make faster time, not drastically faster time,
Mm.
but it's a more comfortable.
Right. We arrive more refreshed.
Exactly. We're not expending ourselves necessarily.
Okay, so Herminius, make a luck roll.
here we go with all the dice again.
That's a 99 out of 70.
Fucking.
There's a hurricane.
Okay.
What's the stupid name?
The mule dies.
No.
Just
No.
Put
drop
it in
dead.
the jail. That's it. Put it in there.
So we're just gonna skip ahead. It's a pleasant trip, actually, with the mule.
That's not a good sign.
You'll find out. It's not going to be a lingering mystery.
Oh God.
You get all the way to
Kill all the
Londinum.
zombies.
The mule is smart and it's a good animal. Do any of you have like what's the skill? Teamster?
Yeah.
I do. I have it at 30.
You have a 30 in Teamster?
I do.
Oh, awesome.
Only
I do too.
I'm a pretty smart guy. I just want you to all know it.
So
We got
handling the mule in the cart is not a big deal. So it makes it a lot easier. You're very comfortable. And you get all the way to Londinum. And you you follow the directions to the villa of Fidelius Afer.
Oh, kitty.
And as they come in, his people come in to greet you. He's like, "Oh, I am Fidelio Ovidus. I am the seneschal of the household. Welcome. We prepared rooms for you. You basically give him the dispatches, he reads them over, and then he rolls out the red carpet for you. It's like, have you eaten? Would you like to, be escorted to the baths? We'll take your animal, we'll have your animal fed and, stabled, and we'll unload your cart.
Do we get a name tag?
And when he says that, you see several. There are some guys in the courtyard waiting for you, or rather, waiting for the cart. And underneath a tarp, they pull out like 6 or 7 amphora that have been stashed in your cart without your knowledge.
Excuse me. Could you tell me what is that?
Oh, we've been waiting for this delivery.
Yeah, I see, but I don't recall that we put anything on the cart other than the dispatches.
Oh no, these were loaded by, and he gives the name of the guy who sold you the cart.
Oh.
Sneaky bugger.
Yes, he scammed you to
Herminius nods in approval.
Transport some freight without your knowledge.
Oh, and by the way,
without cutting
have
you
to
in
pay
because
for the
somebody
transport.
rolled in the 90s.
Listen,
Jesus.
our donkey didn't die, so I'm happy.
Yep. All right.
No, you just kind of got, scammed out of into doing some free work for someone.
We actually had to pay to do the work for someone.
Yeah.
Right?
Wow.
I'm feeling really good about everyone right now. I think I need to go to the baths.
Trust no one.
Okay, so your bags are taken. You're given lovely rooms. And he's got a really nice house here. And you can see that it's a house set up for entertaining. So there are large rooms and mosaics, and he's never here. It's like he comes here maybe like 3 times a year. So the staff is bored.
It's a timeshare.
Yeah. So the staff is like, hey, we have guests. So they're all like, hey, would you like a glass of wine? Once you've settled in, our chef would like to meet with you to discuss the evening dinner menu.
Aha.
How long will you be staying? And basically he's like, the freedman Ovidus says, when you've settled in and wish anything, just ring this bell and I'll be at your beck and call. I have the itinerary of some interesting things going on in Londinum. If you wish to take in the sights, I can advise you on what would be interesting at the time. Is it your first time in the capital?
Yes.
Yes, it is.
I'm assuming yes.
Actually, yeah.
Yeah. Well, we're going to assume this is everyone's first time in Londinum. And as you entered the city, it really didn't look that different than any other major Roman capital. It's kind of funny how much it looks like every other major Roman city.
Mm-hmm.
They kind of only have one shtick, sort of, right? There's
Right.
Right.
I mean, you can
Like
tell.
Walmart's.
You can tell in the people, and it's funny. The one major Roman city that's not like every other major Roman city is Rome. That's the only one that's not built on a grid pattern around a central, a central civic center. But so he says, I can have someone show you around town. Really, we're at your disposal.
Thank you.
How much? So I'm assuming, like, after he leaves and we're like all sorted together, Macrion says, "So, how much time do you think we should spend in leisure? We've had a busy week or so. Of course, spending a month in the bad air surrounded by disease was not any fun. But if there are indeed people being sacrificed, I don't believe we should spend too much time lollygagging around.
But I mean, sacrifice is past tense, right? Because hear me out. I'm just thinking maybe we just rest here for a little bit, catch our breath a bit, and I mean, the sacrifice, they're already sacrificed, right? Like, so.
But if it's
as much as I would love to agree
because the
with
baths
you,
are
Malachi,
just right over there, like they're
Yes,
just right there. Like,
and trust me, you need one.
Exactly. I smell like my entrails. I mean, come on.
But unfortunately, if we are dealing with what I believe we are, then they won't wait. This is not a one-time thing. If the need arises for more sacrifices, then they will perform them. So, as much as I would love to enjoy the fruits of the labor and the delicacies of this town, unfortunately, I think that our stay should be somewhat short.
What do we know about the situation currently?
Nothing until we talk to the Navy man, Isca Augustus.
I mean, who's being sacrificed? Maybe they deserve to be sacrificed. I mean, what do we really know? Like,
is there a potential upcoming holiday or
exactly.
No, well, I'm wondering if it's
Doreena, you're thinking practically. I mean, maybe these people needed to be sacrificed to appease the gods. Who are we to judge?
I'm trying to find a time frame for you, actually. If you wanted to spend a little extra.
Okay, Malachi, Doreena, since it's your idea, make a luck roll.
All right. Oh, what's my luck? Why can't I think of that at this exact moment? I feel it. I'm not lucky.
Okay, you're not really sure. It could, the next major holiday could be the Britain's New Year, which you're just right up against, or it could be midwinter, which is 6 weeks away.
Oh gosh.
But sacrifice for the yeah. Okay, not that. I'm not sure.
I mean, so somewhat more seriously, what do we know about? So we know it's in, was it Venta Augusta or something?
Yeah, Isca Augusta.
Isca
military
Augusta.
town.
Yeah, Isca Augusta. What do we know at all about the situation there?
Nothing.
I mean, we didn't ask
and
before
we have to go there to find out about it?
Right.
Oh, okay, all right. I mean, in that case, I certainly do appreciate that time is of the essence, but I feel like it would be good for us to refresh here just briefly, replenish our supplies, and just allow me one night in the bath because both my luck and my sanity are down.
I'm not sure what that means exactly, but
I say we head out refreshed so that we have a better chance of being able to handle the situation.
Well, yeah,
Okay, with that being said, I'm going to ask you to wait 1 second. Because Malachi said something very interesting. He talked about his sanity is depleted and he needs a bit of a rest. So there may be some merit to this. If you'll just bear with me.
Actually, it's not down too much. We got back some of it, but my luck is down substantially. I need to...
Yeah, mine is.
Well, you're going to need to successfully complete an adventure to get your luck back.
I did kill a 6-legged kitty cat. I mean,
did you make a luck? But when you rolled to get luck back, what did you? Did you?
I didn't. I actually didn't. I didn't roll my luck back. I just realized.
Okay. Did you try and fail?
You have? Is it okay? It's just like a regular.
Yeah,
okay.
It's like a skill check, and you get 1d10 back if you make it.
I didn't fail.
Okay. Okay, so if you stayed here for a week, for 1 whole week, this would be considered family home care. and you would get 1 you'd make a sand check. If you failed it, you'd get 1. If you made it, you'd get 1d3. So you would get between 1 and 4 sanity points back just by staying here for 1 week and letting yourself be pampered by the staff.
We don't know the rate of sacrifices that are going on right now.
What was our benefactor? What was the impression that we got from him about the urgency of this?
He told you he wasn't even telling the guy that when you would be arriving. He said, I'll have someone there as soon as I can. But he basically said to enjoy your, spend a few days in Londinum and enjoy yourself.
Is the gentleman we're looking for in Londinum?
No.
So we'd have to leave.
Yeah, he's way over in Isca Augusta, which how long would that take? I mean, that's got to take a while. To get
that'd be a bit of a journey.
All right.
So at this point, the freedman comes in. He knocks. And he goes, Dominus, might I interrupt?
Yes, of course.
He says, as we said, our house chef would like to speak with you about the evening meal. And if you wish, there is a nearby bathhouse. I could have a appointment set up in 30 minutes for massages and full baths.
Yes, please.
He says that there is a poetry reading at the house of dear friends of ours. There'll be a famous poet from Hispania. There will... he smiles and says, he says, tomorrow there will be chariot racing. I can secure a box for you if you'd like to spend a day at the races. And the day after that, there is supposed to be some exposition matches and an execution by someone's being thrown to the wolves, a few criminals in the arena.
Oh.
As well as there's going to be a bit of a menagerie parade. I'm told that there is a rare animal from the province of Africa. Some sort of a they call it a rhinoceros. It won't be killed; it's too valuable. But they will be parading it.
Legs.
It really sounds like fun for the whole family. I mean,
you've come at a good time.
Why?
So, do any of those things interest you? I could get to work on securing
everything except that poetry bit.
No poetry.
The bookworms can go to the poetry bit. Doreena and I will go to watch the wolves feast on the thieves.
Well, that will be tomorrow.
Oh.
If you wish to just stay in tonight, we could have a lovely feast set. I could hire some players to come in and perform a play. Some musicians, then.
I look at them all,
and then
he
kind of like looks sideways at you, and he says, "I could recommend a couple of good brothels."
I just kind of not look at them and just look away,
and he says, and I'm sure I'm sure the head maid would be able to guide you to somewhere where my lady might have those needs met.
Do you have any sheep I can hang around with? I don't know. Crossbow?
Whoa! Ew! Come on!
Long way. All right.
Whoa!
Take 10 steps back on that.
So are we going to settle for an afternoon at the baths, being massaged and bathed, and then a really amazing meal at the house?
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
And then nightlife, or have entertainment brought in the way of players or musicians?
Up to you guys.
I wouldn't mind getting around
I'm
town
for some
a little bit.
nightlife, especially. I may just go back to the baths later on.
Well,
myself.
remember, all of those businesses are going to close at sundown. We're living in a world without light, without artificial light. So the idea of walking around at night, going to bars and stuff, is not something that really happened because streets weren't that safe at night.
I'm not too worried about that, but it's true. I don't know Londinum, so it would be smart to not get caught unawares.
I would not be comfortable out at night.
Okay, everybody roll a luck roll and tell me if someone gets a hard success.
Let's see. Oh, that's a 25 out of 70. That's hard.
Okay.
57 under 59.
After dinner,
I got it.
a guest joins you for the third course. And I'm going to roll his status. I'm going to say that he's got a status of 65. You all have heard of him. You didn't expect to see him in Britannia. He's a friend of Fidelis, and he is one of the most famous comedians in the Empire.
What's his name?
Let me give this guy a name.
Immerse us.
Humorous Maximus.
Tell us jokes.
Donus Rickles us.
We're going to say that he is
Stick us.
he is named Vice Versa. And you're pretty sure it's not his real name?
But then again,
so he joins you for the last course, and he says, "Have any of you been to Germania?" And he literally does 40 minutes on this trip he took through Germania, where everything happens from him being chased by bandits, somehow surviving being eaten by bears, gambling with slavers, almost drowning in the Rhine, like literally every ridiculous thing that could happen to him. He's just phenomenal. And then at the end of the dinner, he's got 2 guards waiting for him outside. And the seneschal kind of gives him a bag of coins and his profound thanks. So this guy was just invited to dinner to do like his set for you guys.
Nice.
And
Wow.
you realize this would have been like, to hire this guy for the night to perform at a dinner would probably be about dropping $1,000. It's probably about 1,000 sesterci.
what? Should we host the guy for the night? Like, is he that, like...
So is it?
Oh, he says, no, I've got gambling to do. He
Oh,
goes,
God.
I'm late for a dice game, but
Wait, where's that?
and he says, but Doreena, if you wish me to come back to your quarters after, I would be.
Oh.
No, thank you.
I was just
He
about
says,
to ask if he was
that's
here.
a good sign, because if I'm not lucky here, then perhaps the dice will be with me. So, with your leaves, ladies and gentlemen, I will go lose this money I just earned.
Poor soul.
Wait, where is this club?
If he says, if you've got money, I could, we're heading there now.
Do you have that much, Malachi?
Okay, how much money do you want to bring with you?
Yeah, no, I need to send this money home. That's one of my first tasks tomorrow.
And he basically says, or you can come with me and possibly triple it. Then you could send half of it home, and you'd still have half as much more than you have now.
It is such temptation, but my
Malachi,
family is relying on me.
a proposal. How about you
Oh, God.
escort me out as my safety,
Yes.
my protector,
I like this.
and at least then you can spend a little time out.
Excellent.
How much
Thank
do the
you,
two of you
Herminius.
wish to bring as gambling money?
I'm gonna bring. Let's see. How about 80?
Okay.
I'll bring 80 sesterce with me.
Malachi, how much do you want to possibly gamble tonight?
I sadly must send my money back to my family. I will bring only 100.
Which is more than her video.
Only 100.
Okay. So when you come in with vice versa, are you? So only the two of you are going. Macrion, you're staying.
If he's got a library, I'll probably stay.
Okay, he does have a library. One of the slaves comes in with a lamp and some hot tea and says, I usually keep the library. Not many people use it. Can I recommend you a few things?
Oh, yes, please, of course.
And I need you to roll a luck.
I get the Cthulhu Tome, right?
Oh, God.
52 under 59.
She selects 4 volumes for you. Only 2 of which you've read, and one is actually a book of saucy and humorous poems.
Nice.
That she smiles at you and says, "This is one of my favorites."
He like looks at the cover and then he winks.
Okay, so
He just has something in his eye.
Doreena, what do you wish to do with your evening?
Is there anyone I could spar with?
Make a luck roll. Maybe the house does have a guard.
33, yes. And no, it's not a hard.
Okay, we're going to say that there's no one for you to spar with, but several of the people who live here do practice archery, and they can set up a target in the garden and light it by torches if you wish to practice. They said we can set up the range and we can do some shooting with you if that would entertain you, mistress.
Arching would be arching. Archery would be perfect. Thank you.
Okay. And these are the ladies of the house, actually.
Oh, yay.
Archery was actually practiced by women as a sport quite commonly. And you can see 2 of these slaves are Welsh, so they have a long history of archery.
Yay.
So you spend, like an hour of under torchlight under the stars archery in the garden with like 3 other women who are shooting with you.
Huzzah.
Okay. So I need you both to roll a luck check and tell me the degree of success or failure.
Oh, God. Gambling.
Ooh, that's a 44 out of 70.
Okay, your 80 turns into 140.
Yeah.
Malachi?
Oh, okay. Sorry. I thought. I have now 52, so my luck is 50. Oh, 52. So I just made my
exactly make it. You break even. You gamble all night and you lose as much as you win, but have a really good time.
Excellent. That's what I was mostly around for.
Had either of you failed, you would have lost all your money, and a failure of more than 25 points would have been all your money and a fight. So a little bit of profit and breaking even and hanging out with a celebrity is not a bad night in Londinum.
Do we make
I
any
don't
good
know.
friends?
Some gambling and a fight, I think Malachi would have enjoyed.
Do we make any good friends? Yeah, I would.
Well, you didn't. That would have been like a critical success. You met some people, but no, you came in with this guy like his posse. He's like, hey, these are my friends, Malachi and Herminius. They're from the East, and
What kind of club is this?
It's a gambling den underneath a brothel run by the mob.
Okay.
So you've met Jimmy the Squirrel and Billy the Fish, the local collegiate element in Londinum. So I will say that you have a few names of local crime figures.
Is it possible? How safe? I'm just going to ask, vice versa, how safe it is to use the brothel here.
He says, safe in what way? I mean, were you going to be wrestling? I mean, it's it's a high quality place.
All right. So they have some.
Because I wouldn't be stepping foot in some dirty dive.
All right.
So for 5 sesterci, you can do whatever you would like to do.
Do we feel like we're fairly safe? I mean, I feel like the house that we're in is incredibly safe. From my sense as a bodyguard, professionally speaking, like how relatively safe were we between where we came from and going to this club?
You mean the streets? Pretty safe.
Yeah.
It was a very close distance.
All right.
But then again, he had 2 guards with him.
Well, that's the thing. Like I because I also feel like I have some responsibility for Herminius too. So,
well, peeling off from Herminius while he's in here is fine, as long as he doesn't leave.
All right.
If he leaves having one and not having a guard,
right?
You don't want to leave a seedy gambling joint after dark, after you've been on a winning streak by yourself.
Okay. Herminius, so at some point, kind of in the middle of the evening while we're out, I'll just let Herminius know that I'm thinking about going upstairs, if he'll be okay for a little bit, and I'll be back very soon.
You're muted.
He's he's chatting up a couple of people, and
it's a loud club. I can hardly hear him. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
got the tunes booming, All
right. So, just to cut through it, we're gonna say a couple of an hour after midnight, you guys get back to the villa. You've had quite a few drinks. You've won a little money. You've made some friends. You got to hang out with a celebrity. You've had a lovely night out. Macrion, this slave is starved for attention, and she's a reader. So, however far you want to take this,
they spend a good night together then.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna say that it is about 2 a.m. Malachi and Herminius, you've just fallen asleep. You haven't drank to the point of excess, so you've got your wits about you. Doreena, you've been asleep for a few hours, and Macrion, you've been asleep for about 2 hours. When suddenly you hear screams of panic, like calling out into the night from the villa next door.
All right. Well, I immediately jump up and check on. I mean, are we all in separate rooms?
But they're all like in the same wing.
Okay.
So as soon as you step out there, the hallway is there with everyone.
I just immediately first check on the 3 other party members.
Everyone's fine, and there's a girl in Macrion's room.
Okay, fine.
I walk out with my weapon.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you are relieved and then horrified when you hear the screams clarify what the problem is, and it's the word fire.
Oh God.
And literally everyone in the house starts running outside to
Yep.
grabbing pots or whatever, just seeing what they can do.
Mhm.
What do the four of you do?
Is there a like a well or a fountain or something in a nearby?
There's water in the garden. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do that. Grab any like a pitcher or a pail or a bucket, anything like that.
Find
and
the
start-
bucket in the garden. You can fill it with water and run out into the street towards the house.
Sounds good. Yep.
Same.
As soon as you guys get outside and you start filling buckets, and you see that there's just smoke pouring out of this building, like billowing, and not like dark smoke, like fresh smoke, like of a building that's just raging on fire. You don't see any fire, but you hear people like running out, and they're just screaming and coughing and choking. And someone's yelling, call the Vigilus, call the Vigilus. And then somebody else is like, did everyone get out? Is everyone out? And it's you see a man kind of with a woman under his arm. They've got a young boy that the woman is carrying. He's probably about 8 or 9. So she's like literally picked him up, although he's nearly the size of her at this point. And and a few other slaves come running out of the building.
But hasn't confirmed everybody's out yet.
They're all coughing and sputtering.
Run up to whoever seems to be the most, representative of the household and ask them if there's more people in the house.
And one of the slaves says, there shouldn't, but I heard someone downstairs calling for help. He was looking for someone. There shouldn't be anybody else in the house.
So
All right.
someone who didn't
going in.
belong.
Okay, you run into the billowing smoke.
I go with
So
him.
just by the way, as a little bit of background, because all of you probably know this, I have a background history with my family being burned out of their home.
Oh, I forgot I wrote that in
yeah.
you.
So this is kind of a little near and dear for me.
Okay, you rush into the building, and from below you hear a voice just frantically screaming. Ladula, Tulis, are you in here? We have to get out, Ladula, Tulis. And it sounds like it's from a lower level of the house you're in, and you're at this point you're just blinded by smoke.
All right. If I get down lower, can I get below the smoke? Do I see any sign of flame?
Yes, you can. You start to feel heat on the floor.
Oh no.
But you don't see any fire yet.
Okay. Is there any immediate sense of which direction to get down to a lower level?
Make a standard INT check, and Macrion, you can do the same.
Okay, well that should be easy.
Herminius and Doreena, are you staying outside? And
I'm gonna help with just whoever's outside, just helping them get out.
okay,
And putting them into safer
you guys
place.
make a INT check as you help with the people who are choking and sputtering, and I'll get back to the outside crew in a minute.
Yeah, I got a hard success.
Okay.
I
got
am
a
oblivious
normal.
to the world.
Okay.
65
Macrion, are you going to follow Malachi?
I do. When he runs in, I pause for a minute and I take the pot that I have of water and I dump it on myself to get myself wet, and then I run in after him.
Okay, so he drops to all fours, starts crawling through the smoke, and he enters a room. And this is the indoor. It's their bathroom, and from the facility, you can hear that voice echoing again. Ladula, Tulis, are you in here? We have to get out. We have to get out now. And then you just start to hear the screaming of someone burning. And then fire erupts in this room. It just it almost bleeds out of the walls and rolls over the ceiling all around you. And I need you both to make a sanity check.
Oh God.
Ooh, fuck. Super
Yeah,
fail.
no.
92 over 81.
Oh, I can do
Okay.
better than that. I got a 95.
Wow. So this is absolutely terrifying to both of you. You both scream, losing 2 points, and you lose consciousness.
Oh shit.
You feel the heat like licking, like the flames licking over your arms and through your clothing, and you're just screaming, and then you both pass out. And I will get back to both of you. Doreena, Herminius, please, as you're coming over with water to deal with these people who are choking and coughing from all the smoke they've breathed in, I want you to make an INT check.
I failed.
I got 82 out of 80.
Oh my God.
You both
Spend
failed.
2 luck points. Spend 2 luck points.
Ooh,
I'd have
yeah,
to spend 19.
yeah,
Well, Jeff
I'll
only failed
spend the
by
2.
10.
Okay,
Yeah,
as you're grabbing water and trying to wash the soot out of their eyes,
Mhm.
you realize that their clothes and their faces and they don't have a speck of smoke dust or soot on them. They're like choking and coughing like they've just come through. Like you saw them come out of this house billowing with smoke. But now that they're out here, they don't have a single speck of dust or soot on them. They're actually cool to the touch.
I'm oblivious. This is all fine and dandy.
So the Vigilus shows up, and they've got their squirts and their pumps, and they come in this truck that's like has this huge water tank. And as they're pulling up, you notice the smoke just dissipates.
Yeah.
And when I say dissipates, I don't mean it blows away in the wind.
Mhm.
It just goes away. It just stops. Almost like the billowing smoke turns into fog, turns into mist, and then is just gone.
What? Where did it go?
Walk over to Doreena and say, I believe that this is some kind of haunting, perhaps.
Oh, I understand.
You realize Macrion and Malachi have not come out of the house.
Oh,
I do believe, though, while not real, still is very dangerous. I believe that we should go look for our friends.
Okay, the Vigilus say, "Where's the house on fire?" The Vigilus are like the firemen, policemen. They're like, "We were told there was a fire here," and the guy who owns the house, "It's my house. It's on fire." And they said, "There's," and basically they run in. And they said, "We have 2 people." It says, "We have 2 men down in here," and you see them pull out Macrion and Malachi. They're both unconscious, but again, they don't have a single burn, no soot. They look fine, but they're just passed out. They dump some water on them, they revive them, and one of them actually has some medical training. So he's like, "Look at me, breathe deep. How do you feel? Don't get up too fast." And physically, you guys are unharmed, but you felt like the skin on the back of your hands and your cheeks blister, like you felt that pain of being burned alive before you passed out.
So he just kind of jumps and starts patting himself but what happened to the fire? There was a fire. He gets up on all fours and starts
the house
to
is
look around.
fine. The Vigilus said, "We didn't find any sign of a fire. There's no damage." They're saying, "Look, maybe there was a problem in your kitchen, but we're not going to report this. But you can't do this. It's dangerous. If this was a joke or a prank, If it happens again, we're not going to respond.
He looks over to Herminius.
They're
he's
not
like,
telling you guys
there
this.
was
They're telling the
fire.
owner of the house
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
And I'll walk over.
And he's crying. He's like, but there was a fire. Somebody was screaming. He goes, there was smoke everywhere. You could feel the heat.
I'll walk over and attempt to amend the situations. Forgive them. There was indeed, I'm sure, maybe a loose coal or something like that just caused a lot of smoke. And in the middle of the night, you know how we can get over anxious and our imagination can run. I'm sure that it was just a misunderstanding.
Okay, roll your charm.
That is a 31 out of 60.
Okay.
Almost a hard success.
The wife puts her hand on her husband's shoulder and says, I'm sure that was it. And he looks over at you like confused. And then you see her hand tighten on his shoulder. And he goes, yes, I'm so sorry. Please, if there's anything I can do to apologize. And he goes, no, sir, this is our job, but we take it very seriously. And while we're responding to this false alarm, there could be a real fire somewhere. So, please just try to be more careful before you start this kind of panic. And they all head out. And he looks at you and he says, stranger, I'm in your debt. He says, oh, thank you all for coming to help. I'm not really sure what happened. You saw it though, right? You saw the smoke. We're not mad.
No, you most certainly are not.
And the little boy's like, Mommy, I'm scared. Is the house on fire or not? And he goes, it's not, but I don't understand. And he says, I'm sorry, I'm being rude. Let me introduce myself.
Before?
My name is Nippius Cupita. And this is my wife, Ovidella. And this is my son, Paulus. No, we've just moved in. The house is newly built. It's only been completed about a month ago. And he says, you two were dragged out of the house. You saw the fire. Yes, you heard, you saw the smoke and the screaming.
We felt it, and he's like still like touching his arm. Like it's just so surprised that there's.
You can see the
no
wife
fire.
is like touching her face and her hair. Like you could tell she had those same sensations. They're really shook up.
Yeah.
Like the kid won't stop crying either.
How common is new construction in
Londinum? Very new, very common.
Oh, real? Okay.
In fact, most of the buildings here are less than 100 years old.
All right, but in terms of that new, yes, but like they said that they just moved in and just had the house built, right?
Yeah, said it was a lot before that.
Yeah.
Oh, a lot, as in just fertile ground, or was something there prior?
The guy you're staying with, you're the freedman in charge of the house, Ovidus, says, well, miss, all of this is built over. He says all of this was all fairly new construction. There was a massive fire in Londinum about, many decades ago. Everything was destroyed during the Boudiccan revolt.
Oh.
Interesting.
The entire city was burned to the ground. It was before my time.
That does.
So lots like this are still. They're becoming uncommon, but you can still find them. We were happy to see a new neighbor go up, and he introduces himself. And we haven't met. I'm the, I look after the house for my master. He goes, I'm pleased to meet you. And the wife is like, husband, I don't want to go back in. And he goes, I can try and find a room for us somewhere.
Ovidius, is it possible that this nice family could stay with us tonight? It's been quite a stressful
situation. It will be tight. Would you be willing to give up a couple of your rooms?
Of course. I will.
And Nipidus says,
absolutely.
on behalf of my master's friends and in the name of my master, I offer you our hospitality, at least for the night, while we try and figure out what's going on. You can give one room to the three of you and one room for your slaves. And he goes, that is far too kind. I'm ashamed to accept, but I should get my boy out of the night air, and I don't know how far we would get. My legs feel like jelly. And he goes, I understand, sir. Don't worry about it. Let's get you inside, and we'll put the boy and your wife to bed, and maybe we can figure this out in the morning. Or he looks over to the four of you, and you can tell he's got no clue what to do.
Am I still passed out?
No, you're both awake.
Oh, we are. Okay. No problem. I say to whoever our local people that I kept hearing the name being yelled out, Tula, and what was the other one? I'm forgetting.
Ladula.
Ladula.
Tulis and Ladula.
Tulis and Ladula. I wonder if they could be people that maybe had resided here previously.
He says, I wouldn't know. I can give you the name of the people who sold us the lot.
There would be records, right? Yeah, it might be worth finding out.
He says, I don't know what records there would be. Like I said, the city was burned. There may be some records.
Or somebody would know, perhaps, yeah.
He says, in the morning, if one of you would escort me in, I have the name in my papers. It escapes me at the time.
I will escort you in.
Okay, so we're gonna say that they're all too shook up to really be of more help tonight. So we can pick this up in the morning.
Okay.
All right. So fast forward to the next morning. And they're willing to meet with you. He goes in with you, grabs his papers, and comes right out. And again, the house is gorgeous. They've really spent some money on it. It's a beautiful new construction, and there's no damage. There's no fire damage. There's no smoke damage. It's pristine.
I never actually saw flames, though. Oh, no, we did see flames. Flames burst out from the bathroom, right?
Right.
From what I recall, though, those flames, did they seem to come from anywhere, or they just immediately appeared in the whole room?
You felt the floor hot,
yeah.
And then the whole room burst into flames. But you felt it from below you.
So, but from my experience, that was pretty unusual, right? That's not how houses burn.
Right.
Well, I mean, I'll just say this to whoever from my party is here, but I suspect that this may be some kind of manifestation of the previous fires that have happened in the area.
Yes, that is my exact idea.
And I will say that these poor folks bought a really sweet house that is haunted by some serious poltergeists. Property value is going to plummet once that gets out, I guess. But actually, I've been thinking about getting an apartment in Londinum.
So he gives you the name, and The name of the person who sold them the house, the plot, actually, was Modius Figulus, and he lives on the other side of Londinum.
All right. Do I have some direction to find him?
Yeah, there's directions.
Would Herminius, you care to come along, perhaps, to see if we can find?
Yes,
Or
indeed,
somebody?
I would love to escort.
How much time? Actually, I mean, have we decided how much more time we want to spend here? I feel like there's some value in sticking around a little bit longer.
Yeah, I think with this current situation, as I think as we've all kind of concluded, there's really not a huge time crunch on the other one. I don't think that we should delay and spend like a month here relaxing and regaling ourselves, but
We don't need to
figuring
do that.
this out couldn't hurt.
I mean, there are some things I need to send my earnings to my family.
You could easily arrange that through these
So
Ovidius.
That's
also,
my
if
priority.
this is happening next door, it could happen here. So it might be worth looking into because we are being held up here.
So we can talk to the people in the house. Have they said that anything like that has happened in this
No,
house?
nothing like this has ever happened before.
All right.
I wonder, is this the first time this has happened at all in Londinius?
Yeah, no one's heard of anything like this before in the area.
Okay.
All right. Well, after
Although
I go,
they do say that there are other houses like this in Londinum that are haunted. Some say like people who died in the Great Fire.
Okay.
They said over 100,000 people died when the Briganti and their allies, sacked Londinum during the revolt.
wait, 100,000?
The entire city was burned to the ground. They said the army pulled out and decided not to defend the city because the ground wasn't good. They knew they'd be annihilated, so they sacrificed Londinum to move to high ground west of here, and then defeated the uprising in a great victory for Rome, but it was at the cost of 2 Roman cities.
Wow.
That rubs me the wrong way.
I said, do you not know the tale of the Boudiccan revolt?
I probably do. Can I make a library use?
Make an empire roll because it's a big part of Roman history.
Okay. 55 under 75.
She was a queen. Her husband was a king, a client king in the service of Rome. He owed money to Rome. When he died, he left half of his kingdom to Rome and the other half to his wife to be parceled out to his daughters. Rome did not recognize her claim to half of her husband's property, saying that women under Roman law couldn't inherit. And when she objected, they had her whipped and both of her daughters raped by Roman soldiers. She then went back to her people and all of the neighboring tribes and launched a very successful uprising that very nearly drove the Romans out of Britannia, burning down 2 cities before she was brought to bear, before the uprising was finally put down. But they basically tell you it was that Roman rule in Britannia was teetering by a thread. And the soldiers that finally defeated her were outnumbered something like 10-1.
Wow.
Somebody said it may have been a lot more than that even. But yeah, basically the whole city is built on top of one big grave.
And that explains it. Can I make an occult roll to see
Sure.
if there's anything that I've read about, like what possible courses of action we could take? 79 over 55. So no,
No, that's gonna be a
too
no.
bad.
Can I try? I have a 20.
Go ahead.
15.
Okay,
Nice.
from what you have heard of these types of ghosts, they can be driven off by spiritual combat.
Oh,
Basically, if the ghost tries to physically harm you, if your will is strong enough, you can repel it through faith and perseverance and your own force of will. And basically do battle with it, and the one who comes out on top survives. But it's basically gambling with your life.
well.
These creatures can be very dangerous. The safer way is to find out what is tethering it to this world and help it resolve and move on. These spirits usually don't want to remain restless.
Mm-hmm.
If you can determine what's tethering it to this world, or what's physically tethering it to this world, or what unfinished business it has, and help it resolve and help the spirit resolve that business, it may well move on to the next life gratefully.
Now, Malachi, you were saying that the spirit was calling out.
Yeah.
Could that possibly be one of the reasons why it's there? Could it possibly do this again and attempt to find? I don't know a lot about this, but I'm trying to piece together why that spirit would be there.
Right. That's sort of my supposition, is there's a connection with that spirit and those that were lost. Yeah, Arizona.
Was the person who
Wait.
called out?
What happened?
Oh.
Hold on.
They called Arizona for Biden.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Wait,
I'm
Jesus,
gonna-
that's
Just
Wait,
just gotta
who
wait
called
for
it?
Nevada now.
Oh, no, that's right. They already called Arizona, didn't they? Yeah, Arizona.
It was leaning
AP
hard, but they got
AP
the.
had called it, but they were the only ones.
Well,
They
and
were
Fox
waiting-
News, much to
Wow,
Trump's
really?
chagrin. Yeah,
Yeah.
Fox News called it last night, which Trump freaked out about. But
Well,
They
they've
were
been
waiting
on the
for
outs.
the other ballots to come in. Well, not to come in,
Yeah.
but the count. They were like, we were at like 75% last night, because we do early voting here and have for a long time. So they had
so you actually know what you're doing.
3/4 like right away.
Yeah.
But they got I guess the majority of the rest of it, if not all of it. So yeah.
All right, let's
It's
get
official.
back to this. People are
Yeah.
here. People may be watching us to escape. I know that's why I'm really
Arizonia.
glad we're running this tonight.
Yeah.
Malachi, the voice that you heard calling out, was it a man or a woman? Or?
It was a man. It sounded like an adult man.
Quite possibly, and you heard it call out for two different people. It could be that we are hearing a husband and a father calling out for possibly a wife and daughter. If separated in such a traumatic fashion, that quite possibly could be what we are looking at.
Those names are that are identifiable as common Roman or Britannian names.
They're definitely Roman.
All right. Male or
Ludula
female?
could possibly be a Latinized Brythonic name,
Okay.
but Junus is a family name.
Would we know if there's any other family around that
You'd have
could
to
give
do
us more
some checking.
information?
So
You would
let's
have to-
go, Herminius, let's go and speak to this fellow that owned the property. Perhaps we can use that as a lead.
Macrion, do you and Doreena, do you have any leads you might want to look into?
I would imagine that Malachi and Herminius would be able to find out about the family with the same person, or would there be somewhere else that we could check?
Oh, there are records. If somebody had a good library use roll and rolled well enough, you might be able to turn something up.
I do not know how to do any of that. So,
So do you want to search the house?
Macrion.
I would like, yeah. Yeah,
Hall of
if we
records
could-
or search the house while they're looking across town.
If there are records that remain since the city has been burned, we could check there and see if we could maybe find a family name, or see if the person that Herminius or that Malachi is hearing perhaps is still alive.
Okay. So we're gonna say that. Well, do their scene first because your scene may be longer, guys. You go to the Hall of Records. They welcome you. Welcome. What can we? What can we help you with, sir?
Yes, the newly built property across from whatever Patreon's name is, across from the Afer Villa. Do you have any records pertaining to the house that was just recently built? Perhaps a former owner, a former family before Londinum was burned?
Let me. That will take some checking, sir. Would you be willing to hire a scribe to help you in your research?
Sure, I could do that. I could also
Okay, for
help
one
to-
sesterce, they give you access and they give you a guide.
Done.
He's not going to do the library use roll, but he gets you in and he gets you to the sections you want to go to.
Sure.
And he makes sure you don't steal anything.
How many sesterces for the library roll? Just out of curiosity.
For this kid to do it, he said I can help you for 5. I'm not supposed to.
I mean, my library use is 80, so
Well,
I would give you a bonus dice.
I'll pay him 5 then. Yeah.
Okay.
I give Macrion the money.
Okay, so you're gonna need to make a hard success.
Okay. So that is going to be a 27.
Which is
Yeah.
that may be
yeah,
a
it's-
critical success at an 80.
No, it's not. So 40 is hard, 16 is extreme.
Okay. So you make the hard success and you find that the house that was on that lot before was owned by the Junis family.
Okay.
And the villa was burned down to the ground. And the property passed on to the son and daughter who had survived.
Okay.
What were there? Oh, I'm not there.
Yeah.
Well, do we get names?
Since you're on this thread, you can make another roll without needing a hard success to try and find out records of the son and daughter of the owner of the who survived the uprising.
20 out of 80.
The
I will spend the 4 points if we need it.
No, the son was named Junus Tullius. He lived to the age of 55.
Wow.
And so, which means that he's been dead for about 30 years now.
But he lived past the fire.
Yeah, he survived the
Yeah.
fire.
So their poor dad has been thinking this whole time that
And Ladula, Juna Ladula, his daughter, is in her 80s, and she's listed as the oldest living member of the Modia family. She's
The
like
Modia family.
she's the great grandmother of a business owner named Modius Figulus, which is the
Oh.
name that Malachi has, which is where they're going.
So does it have her address then, or is that
Yes.
something that we can find out? Okay.
Well, she's gonna have to take a trip back to the family homestead, I think.
If she can.
Yeah,
Maybe
I
put
can
her
get
in
her
a
there.
wagon.
I'll carry her.
Okay, so you guys get over to the house without knowing any of the background research. You see a little girl playing out in front of the yard with one of the household slaves. And the slave comes forward, bows, sends the little girl inside, and says, "Can I help you, sirs?"
Yes. Actually, Herminius, maybe you should be speaking mostly. Sorry.
Yes, we are here. I forgot why we were here, Malachi.
The only
Why
name,
are we
the
here?
guy who sold the lot that the house is built
That's
on,
right.
named Modius Figulus.
That's right. Yes, we are here about a house that had been the house that had been recently built, and just inquiring as to any issues or mysterious circumstances that had been happening here recently.
Oh, you're actually just talking to like one of the household slaves.
Oh yeah, those are the best people to talk to.
He says, "Well, sorry, I wouldn't know anything about that. If you'd like, I can see if my master would be available to speak with you."
Yes, I suppose if they are available, that would be nice.
Who may I say is calling?
Herminius Rusticus.
Roll your status. This is to see if the guy has heard of you.
I probably not. Whoa, that's an 11 out of 30.
So he has heard of you. You are a little famous through the Empire as being a witch hunter. So that does get you through the door. So the guy kind of meets you in his office, and he's like, "Greetings. I didn't know that one of the Empire's greatest witch hunters was in Britannia. To what do I owe the pleasure?" And he says, "Or displeasure. I am not a practitioner of the dark arts, my friend." And he laughs. He says, "Can I get you wine?"
Yes.
Something
please,
for your man as well.
Oh, no, it's my my companion, my business associate.
Oh, I'm sorry, sir. I meant no disrespect. Please have a seat. And he waves for one of the slaves, and they come and they bring out a pitcher and some cups, and he pours. He says, "Well, how can I help you?" He says, "You're not on a case, are you? This is official business?"
No, nothing official. More of a side pursuit. There have been some interesting occurrences as of late that we are simply looking into.
Well, in your line of work, I would think that interesting occurrences were common.
Yes, they are. It's just not often that you just stumble upon them when you are attempting to relax on vacation.
Don't you hate when that happens? I don't know how this relates to me, sir.
Well, it has to do with with a recent property. There's there is a house across from where we are staying, and it's had some troubles recently.
I'm not the owner of the house, am I, sir? I own a few properties across town.
No.
Okay.
But we're just inquiring as to if you are aware of the previous owners or anything, any reason why the house has been built.
He says, if you tell me exactly where the property is, maybe I'd be able to answer.
I'll tell him I have the people written. It's across from the Fidelis household.
Okay.
I believe it is Lodipus. It's the current owner.
It's the art is Nippius.
That's it. Yeah.
Okay. He says, "Oh yes, I sold him that about a year and a half ago. I sold him. It was just a plot of land. It wasn't a building. I heard he was having something built on it. Is he having a problem with it?"
So you had simply sold the lot then?
Yes, the
And
house had been burned down long before my father had been born.
Yes.
Does
And,
your family have some connection to the land?
Oh yes, my uncle owned it. Well, my great uncle,
Really?
my father's uncle, actually.
And his name
We
was?
called him uncle, but he was my dad's uncle.
Hmm.
But he's been dead since I was a boy.
And how did he pass?
He caught a fever after a particularly hard winter. I'm told a lot of people died of illness that winter. I was told I actually was pretty sick myself. Went through the whole town. Very wet, damp winter. He was, nearly 60. But he was in fair health. He wasn't a violent death. Nothing like that. Just
What was his name?
my dad's name was. He goes, no, it's Tullus, Uncle Tullus, Junius
Uncle
Tullus.
Really? So that was your uncle. Same do you happen to know what your grandfather's name would have been that you shared with the father of your uncle and your father?
Oh no, I don't. My grandmother might.
Oh, she certainly might. Is she still alive?
Miraculously, yes. The old dame's going to outlive us all. If I got to warn you,
Excellent.
if you don't catch her on a good day, she's not going to make much sense.
That's all right. I enjoy speaking to the elder folk. Could we possibly speak with her?
Most certainly. Why don't you wait here? I'll see if she's awake. I have a nurse with her.
All right.
we don't leave her alone, so sometimes she tries to go to market.
All right. That'd be excellent. Herminius.
At this point, as you're waiting, the other two players show up.
All right. Oh Jesus! Like Herminius, I have a charm of 40. How do you do compared to that?
I will see if I can speak with her and get some information out. I don't see why she shouldn't.
It seems very clear that this is the direct family that's connected to this fire. I'm saying this to Herminius since we obviously haven't quite yet heard that Macrion and Doreena have already cracked the case wide open.
Well, you guys are all together now.
Okay.
And he says, she actually slept late, but when she heard there was someone who wanted to speak with her, she demanded to be immediately dressed by her body slave to meet you. She's a little vain, so there's going to be some makeup. Perhaps if you come back in an hour, or if you wouldn't mind waiting in the garden, I can have some refreshments brought out to you.
Splendid.
Wonderful.
Yes, that's quite fun.
The garden it is then?
Yes.
Please be patient with her. She's she's like 85 years old. Which in Roman times is like 101 probably.
Wait, and what's her name again?
Ladula. So
I'm trying to keep my cool here, but
So like an hour goes by. The little girl comes out to play in the garden with her nurse. She's like, she's about 6, and finally, the old dame is brought out with her body slave leaning heavily on her, and she's kind of plopped down, and she's dressed regally. And the one thing that's really out of place, two things is she has a silver torque that's so old it's almost like black, like it hasn't been polished. And you catch a knotwork tattoo around her wrist. And she says, I need everybody to roll a luck, and hopefully no one will fail.
Oh, gee.
Challenge accepted.
That's a 16.
45 out of 60 something or other. So no.
11.
71 over 59.
Okay. You're going to be able to ask her 3 questions before her mind starts to wander off.
Fuck.
So she's like, well, she comes out and says, so I'm told that you all wanted to speak with me.
God, how do we approach this?
I don't think we've ever met.
We have not, but we are quite interested in you, specifically your family and your last dwelling many years ago.
She ignores you, and she looks at Doreena and says in Brythonic, "What tribe are you from, child?"
Nice.
I don't know what tribe I'm actually from.
Maybe if you read your character background, you would.
Hold on. Give me a hot second. Oof.
You notice she didn't mean it to be rude. It's just that Doreena caught her eye, and that's kind of what she focused on. Like, you're Syrian, you're from Judea and you're from Greek, and there's one of you that's actually from here. So she was like, wait a minute. You're not a Roman.
Why can't I find this?
Oh, I hope it's there. I hope I didn't send you on a wild goose chase.
I'll feel doofy if I miss. I'm blind.
Give me a second.
She's from the good one, the tribe that everyone loves.
Yeah, do I know what everyone loves?
We'll just gloss over it for the moment. So you tell her where your people are from, and she speaks to you a little bit. Actually, roll your Brythonic.
Yeah, that was my next one. Oof. I butcher it. I got a 59 out of 30.
She kind of understands what you're speaking, but you speak it really bad. And she says, "You speak like a Roman."
But I'm not.
She says, "Well, you're going to need to practice, or your children are never going to learn it. I'm having a devil of a time teaching my granddaughter, but I made sure that my children knew how to speak like proper people." She says, "There's only one hope for your child." You said you need to get a husband who speaks Brythonic. You don't have a husband yet, do you?
No, I do not.
Well, my son, he's a good, handsome boy, and her son is like fucking 60. He was the old guy who let you in, and you know he's married. And he's like, "Mother, and like, I've been married for 40 years." And he's like, "Lazy boy." And he says, "You had a question about a house?" Like out of nowhere, she comes back to you.
I muttered to everybody, we just need her to get her over to the house, however we can do it.
Yes, a previous house of yours, the one that had burnt down.
Yes. During the uprising.
Yes.
Terrible time. Terrible time.
Were there any losses when the house burnt down?
We lost everything.
Yes, but in terms of people.
Just get to it.
My dad was in the house when it burned. We think that he was trying to protect the house.
We believe that he was looking for you.
And your brother.
What's her name is Tula, right?
Ladula.
Oh, that's right. This is Lagula. Lagula, may we call you Lagula?
Of course, it is my name.
We have a concern that your father may still be at the old house that is burned down, still trying to find you and your brother. Could you possibly come with us to the house?
Well, my father is dead.
So he is dead, sadly, but we think something of him may still remain there. Maybe his spirit may still remain in the grounds. And he may miss you because he did not realize that you and your brother escaped. And we worry that he needs to know that you are alive and have been well these many years. Do you think you could maybe come to the house with us for one visit, even though the house is gone?
She says, "How am I visiting a house that's gone?"
Because we fear that the spirit of your father isn't yet gone, and he deserves.
Somebody has recently built a house upon the property where your house formerly stood, and we believe that the new construction has rekindled his spirit. Oh, no pun intended. That was. The unfinished business of him believing that you and your brother perished in the fire, we believe is what keeping his spirit alive. And if you were to visit and assure him that you and your brother survived, I believe that it would put his spirit at rest and he would be able to move on.
Make a persuade check.
How many questions are we at?
Well, you're over them already.
Oh, fuck.
It's starting to
I
fade.
didn't answer any of her questions.
37 out of 70.
37 out of
Nice.
70. She says that she'll go. She doesn't know what good it will do, but you seem like nice people, and you obviously believe what you're saying.
I try to say thank you in Britannic.
Just as a yeah, oh, that's a good idea. Good idea. Just as some gesture of camaraderie with her, I want to ask. I ask her if she remembers the fire at all.
She says it's my earliest memory.
Do you know how
being
old
thrown
you
in a
are?
cart by neighbors, tolling and just running, and then running down the road, and we were at market with some of the slaves, and they told us that the Brigantes were coming and that they were already burning the city, and the slaves wanted to go back to the house, and my mother said no, and she made us get on a cart with some of my cousins and our slaves, and they told us to follow the army, that the army was running, and so should we, and to flee with them, and to try and and just get clear of it. And my mom ran back towards the house, and we never saw her or my father again.
I can tell you a similar story. My family home in Palestina was burned to the ground, and my father was lost in the fire as well. And my mother and brothers and sisters just barely escaped. I was only 9 years old at the time, and it's forever changed my life since.
She says, I was even younger than that. It's a terrible thing. And she just starts kind of like, her eyes start glazing over, and her nurse says, I think that this is the most activity she's had in a while, so I'm going to take her to bed.
Right.
And the nurse kind of helps shuffle her back in. And the father comes over. He says, you don't expect any believe any of this, do you? The ghost of her father is haunting a house he never even lived in?
Do you believe that I would waste my time with this if I did not believe it?
He says, okay, I'm just going to ask, what is this going to cost us?
Nothing.
Nothing at all.
So what's your angle here?
Just a few moments of your grandmother's time is all we need. Simply, our hope is to bring her to the house to show her father's spirit that she is alive and well, and hopefully he will pass on.
You're going to need to make a persuade roll.
That is 19 out of 70.
He says, I'll bring her. She's going to need to sleep for a few hours, and I'll have a palanquin bring her over. When would be a good time?
Whenever is best convenient for you and your grandmother.
What time of day is it, though?
It's about midday now.
Oh, okay, so if she rests for a couple of hours, we'll still have plenty of sunlight.
All right, it's a 11:15. Do we want to press on and finish? Do we want to hold here and pick up next session? It's up to you.
I'm good, but it's early-ish for me, so...
How's everybody doing? I can keep going.
I can go for a little longer.
Okay. All right, so we're going to fast forward. You go back to the house. The terrified family is there, and they said, well, have you learned anything?
Yes, we have. Lagula, the grandmother, she has agreed to come and perhaps speak to her father, if that makes sense. So
none of this makes sense. Who's Lagula and who's her father?
So the man that Malachi believes that he saw in the house as it was burning was calling for Lagula. It was his daughter. She is still alive and lives across town. We don't know if it will indeed set her father's spirit to rest, if that's what this is, but it can do no harm. If you would agree to it, they have agreed to bring her this evening.
Oh, if you think that will help, I mean, we'd like to go back home, but we can't if it's haunted. And if this poor tortured spirit can be put to rest, then, no one should have to walk the earth past their time.
Yes.
Okay, so what do you guys want to do?
Can I go to the local market and see if I can't find some sort of charm or warding in case this doesn't work?
You can. But most, as you know, as a mythos investigator, most of 99% of the charms you find in a marketplace are not actually going to,
Yeah.
they might make you feel better.
Right. Well, it might make the family feel better too.
That's true.
All right. Anything anyone else want to do before the old lady arrives?
So, going with the idea that Macrion just presented, is there anything in Britannic culture that would possibly put the daughter at ease?
Yeah, good call.
Nothing in particular comes to mind.
When you enter a person's house, is there usually like some sort of family emblem or anything that would make a person when they arrive connect
nothing
with?
like that.
Are there any relics at all left from the old house that
No, everything was burned to the ground.
Okay.
Yeah, we didn't ask the son.
I think we need to think about it from the other end.
The guy, the current owner, says, "I wish we would have known. We did find things while they were restoring the foundation. Glass, bits of tile, but there wasn't really much we could recover. The foundation was still in pretty good shape, so we built most of the house on top of the old foundation."
Interesting.
Is there any of that old foundation left? Any of the tile or mosaic or at all? Anything?
No. We just kind of used the foundation. The entire west wing of the house is built on top of the old the foundation old house.
Now,
make an idea roll.
Yeah, I'm trying to think why it was coming out of like where the bathroom was. I didn't make it at all. 84 out of.
Macrion, you can also roll.
No, I made it.
Okay. The bathroom is on the side of the house that the old foundation was built.
Yep. I think we need to think about this from the other end of this arrangement. And how do we attract the father back? How do we get him to visit her when we finally get her there?
If he inhabits this space, he may be able to sense her presence, perhaps? We should also investigate the foundation. Perhaps his body lays near it. So we investigate outside around the foundation to see.
Well, his body is his ashes were probably in the foundation of this building.
Yeah.
They probably are still there to some extent, plus or minus several decades. I'm going to roll my occult roll just in case I can think of some way to connect to the spirit world. Oh, no, not at all.
Okay.
Wait, actually, yeah, no.
So the family that currently lives here, do they have a young daughter?
They have a young son who's about 7.
I wonder if the son kind of makes laughter or some sort of
Make an occult roll.
I know nothing about occult.
You can all roll if you want to talk openly with the other group, with the party.
Yes, I am without a doubt talking openly.
52 under 55.
It's quite possible the energy of a child about the same age as his son that he was frantically looking for awoken the troubled spirit.
So, but here's the thing: how are we going to get the son inside the house? Because the new family doesn't want to go back in it.
Are you talking to the family there?
No, I'm talking to the party. I apologize.
Perhaps we could get Herminius to persuade him to let the child come. If the father would come as well, we can procure some sweets for the child to bribe him.
That could well trigger a full manifestation like what happened yesterday.
Oh, geez.
Ooh. Well,
Like it would awaken the spirit, but it might start that whole cycle.
Oh. So maybe just the boy?
Maybe if he's just outside the house, perhaps by the west wing, maybe that would draw the spirit out if we wait inside.
I don't have children, so I don't know much
I do not
about
believe that. Okay.
the maternal. What would bring a
They're not going to want to traumatize their son by putting him back in the building when it starts catching on, phantom fire.
But playing outside with the dad might, if they're loud enough, possibly bring the spirit out. And at least they're outside of the house, they're not in it. So if something does happen, do we think we could possibly speak to the father?
Okay. You can if you wish.
Herminius?
Yeah, Macrion like elbow.
Yeah.
So we'll approach the father. We believe that we have a solution, a working possibility for this. However, we will need your assistance. Specifically, we will need the assistance of you and your son.
I'm not sure I follow.
Well, the previous inhabitants of this area, of this lot, the man who died had a son that was roughly the same age as yours. And my associate here, gesturing to Macrion, believes that having a paternal initiation of you and your son near the site could bring about the spirit more easy.
Are you suggesting that that we use my son to provoke the spirit to manifest? To what end?
Well, we are not quite sure that having the daughter here will trigger it by itself. Insurance, so to speak, just to ensure.
You don't have children, do you, Herminius?
Do not.
Well, if you did, you would not ask such a question. I will not, under any circumstance, put my child in any sort of risk. Go back into that house while there's still a ghost in it. I'll be lucky if this boy will ever willingly step foot in that house again. I'm sorry, you'll have to find another way.
I cannot say that I fault you for that.
And says, if I have to lose a fortune and walk away from this house, I will. Rather than put my son through the terror he's been through.
Yeah, perhaps we could have him outside. There's no reason to put your son through terror, and there's certainly no reason to walk away from this house. We are so close to a solution to this problem.
I will bring him outside.
Bring peace to another
I will
family.
bring him outside the house if you wish, but we are not going in. And at the first sign of anything, I'm picking him up and I'm leaving the area with him.
That would be the most prudent thing to do. Yes.
I mean, I'm not a coward, but this is not my. I'm a shipwright. This is not what I do.
Entirely understandable. As soon as something happens, you should leave. But I feel confident that when you return, you will come back to a house very much more peaceful than what you experienced yesterday.
Okay. All right. So, are you waiting for the old lady to arrive, or do you want to go into the house before that?
No.
I mean, I
I
wouldn't
think we
mind
should
going in
wait.
and poking around.
All right. What do you want to do, Macrion?
I guess just like go in and around where the west wing is and see if anything stands out, doesn't look kosher.
Make an INT roll.
Okay. Fuck. 83 out of 75.
Okay.
That's a lot of points to spend. Yeah, I'm not gonna
What was
spend
the
it.
roll? What was the roll you're making?
83 out of 75.
No.
Just looking around inside the house around the west wing, see if anything kind of like.
A spot hidden?
No, an INT, an intelligence check.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see. Yeah.
Yeah, so he just kind of wanders around, just sort of like looking, see if
All right.
anything kind of like.
Give me a spot hidden. I'll go with that.
Fuck, 96.
We're doing great tonight.
Well,
He's
you didn't
like-
let him go in by himself. He's been in
All
there
right.
for over almost an hour now.
All right, I'm going to go in then because I'm starting to get worried about him.
Okay.
He's sitting in a chair like he's like eating some of their food at this point.
Okay, well, I have very good spot hidden. So
Okay.
let me watch me completely critically fail this one. And no, I don't. I get almost just barely above a critical or a hard success.
You notice that the bathroom actually has, plumbing, going down into the sewer, going down into the river.
Oh yeah.
And for the overspill of water, because there's a fountain coming in here. So you can like fill water. There's almost like an indoor fountain filling water here. So for the times it would overflow, if someone wanted to bathe inside, they could. There's a tub here. It's not like a bath, but in a pinch. There's also a grate on the floor, and the floor is sloped so that water drains out of the room if there's ever overflow.
So we could look down into the grate.
Yes. You don't see much, but you could remove the grate. It would take a little bit of elbow grease and some chiseling through masonry.
Well, I'm going to do that.
Malachi, what do you see?
So the grate goes down through into the sewer below.
Okay, you do that. You pull it up. You see it's a narrow passage. Possibly you could squeeze your way down.
Probably not me.
But it's dark and you can't see what's below.
Do we have any way of lighting? Is there any torch or anything?
If you have a lamp or a torch, I mean, you're inside a house, you can easily find a lamp.
All right. Oh, actually, I have a lamp with me. I have a clay lamp.
Okay, you can lower it down.
Yep, and I have some rope I can tie it to and lower it down. All right.
It actually opens up into a larger chamber after about 10 feet. Like you can see the lights blossom out, and then it's just kind of going through open air.
Macrion, how small are you?
I have a size of 80.
Dear God. Okay.
I'm pretty big. Herminius is small, isn't he? We can perhaps get him to climb into the hole.
I'm going to say that this hole would be restricted to size 60 and below.
Yep.
Up 60.
He is a finder, after all, is he not?
Doreena, were you too big to get down the hole?
I'm a 50.
Okay. Malachi? Lost Malachi. Malachi said, fuck it, I'm not going down the hole.
No, he's big. He's a gladiator.
I
No,
know.
he's not. He's a bodyguard.
For a bodyguard, yeah.
Malachi, what's your size?
I'm 65.
So you can't get down the hole either.
Nope.
So
Yeah,
Macrion,
I'll tell you one other thing. That old lady's not getting down the hole either.
Macrion goes back outside of the house to Doreena and Herminius and says, Malachi's made an interesting discovery. There's a fountain in the bathroom. There's a grate which we have removed. Hopefully that won't be a problem. But if one of you could... the hole is small, but one of you may be able to fit down there. It opens up into a room, a cavern. There could be something down there. Malachi did say that the yelling was coming from this area. Jesse, nope, right the fuck out.
His connection is having issues.
Yeah.
So as far as speaking to the woman that's coming, it may be better for Herminius to remain where he is and for me to come with you both. Only because although she does have a connection with me, if her son were to be hesitant about moving forward, it would be probably easier for Herminius to speak with them.
If you feel comfortable going down, we will of course be right here to help if we can.
Okay.
Of course.
So, Doreena, you want to go down? Well, maybe want to go down is a strong word. You're willing.
I'm extremely hesitant for the sheer fact that I really like this character, and if I die, I'm going to hate myself so much after this.
Okay,
But,
so you guys are going to lower her down.
I'm dainty. How? I don't know. I should be. Well.
Okay, so you get lowered down, and they lowered a lamp first, so you end up in a large stone chamber full of charred amphora, charred and broken amphora. So the whole floor of this room is just filled with baked, charred, broken pots, but large pots. The type you would carry, a household olive oil or a household supply of wine or stuff like that.
Okay. So this was a basement in the past.
Yeah, this was like a wine cellar or a storage area. And then you smell smoke.
Oh,
and the room starts filling with smoke. And someone starts moving through the area. I need you to make a sand check. And you start to feel the temperature rising. And above Macrion, Herminius, you see, Macrion, Malachi, you see smoke start to come out of the hole.
I fail.
You failed? Okay.
Yeah.
Pull.
Pulling fast.
You lose 4. They start to pull you up, and you hear the voice say, "Who's there? Is somebody there? Can you help me, please?" And you guys hear the guys upstairs hear this too, and he says, "Ladula, Tulis, are you down here? I heard you. Call out if you're here."
Ladula's coming.
Ladula's right up here.
Ladula's coming.
You start to see fire in the room around you, Doreena, and a man comes forward. He's dressed, in a more, in the style of like 100 years ago. which is not too different, to be honest.
Yeah.
And you see a Romanized Briton, or someone who has of mixed parenting. One Roman, one Briton parent.
Hmm.
A man. He's probably only about 28. His late 20s. He looks frantic. He looks afraid. He's sweating. He's dirty. He says, "What do you mean she's coming? She should be here. We searched the entire house." He goes, "They're setting fire to everything." He says, "Have you seen her? Have you seen my son?"
I have seen her. I know she's okay. She's safe. She's outside of the house.
She's outside.
Take me to her, or bring her to me. I must speak with her.
I cannot bring her down here, but I can see if she can come within hearing. Can you?
Get him to come up to her.
Would you be able to come up with me?
He says, "If I could find my wedding ring, maybe. It's down here somewhere in this mess. Could you help me, please?"
After you speak with your daughter, yes, we can look for the ring.
I can't leave this room without my ring.
Find the ring. Find the ring.
He says, "Don't you understand?" He says, I'm trapped here until I find my children. I can't leave this room."
But, all right. I yell for them to lower me back down.
Oh, they never pulled you all up because you started talking to him. It's only like 10 feet. You would have been up.
I jumped down, and I kind of get down on like my hands and knees.
Make a spot hidden roll.
Dear God, make this a roll, please.
What's a 000?
100.
Fuck a duck.
Okay. Yeah. You start to not see it, and he starts getting. He starts getting agitated, and he's like looking with you. And he says, I can't hold it back. And all of a sudden the room just bursts into flames, and he himself starts burning. And you just see like he's screaming, and you need to make another sanity check.
Oh, jeez. 24, so I made it.
Okay.
I urge
so you lose one more point.
I urge him to.
But now you start to choke, and you're blinded, and you feel your skin blistering.
I say that I'm going to stay with him and keep looking, but I urge him to just breathe, and that his daughter's coming, and he will speak to her soon.
You're going to need to make a POW check just to physically force yourself to stay down here as you feel your body burning.
17.
Okay, roll. You're like feel yourself being consumed by fire, and
Meanwhile,
all he is doing is screaming. But
I'm
you can.
Her up.
But I know it's not real. That's the thing.
But if you failed the POW check, your mind. It's the whole. Put your hand in the box. What's in the box?
My POW.
That's what you pass. All right, so you get one more. You start to feel him pull you up. You can make another fast spot hidden, or you can let him pull you up.
I'm gonna make the fast. Dear God, a 2.
You find the ring, and you grab it and you're pulling him up, and he's screaming. And at this point, the smoke is billowing. I need the two of you to make a. As she comes up, you see that she's on fire, and I need you guys both to make a sand check, as the whole room is now engulfed in flames.
Fuck! I got a 97.
All right, you're passed right out again. Malachi?
I just barely made mine by 3 points, 68 out of 70.
Okay, you take 1 point. Macrion falls to the floor and immediately starts burning. What do you guys want to do?
I'm pulling her out of there.
No, she's out. As she came out of the hole, the fire burst up with her.
Okay. I try to pull both of them away from the fire hole.
Doreena actually can move.
Okay.
I'm screaming for Herminius
So
and calling for the daughter's name.
So Herminius, they come running out. And there's smoke billowing through the house. And they're yelling, "Somebody call the Vigilus!" And the owner of the house is saying, "No, don't call the Vigilus."
No,
He goes, "Are you out of your mind? Your house is on fire." He's like, "Don't call the Vigilus."
Everything's okay.
So then you guys come out. They're dragging Macrion. Macrion's on fire. Doreena's on fire. Malachi is like just covered in soot, and they're all coughing. And as they get out, it all like fades away, and they don't have a spot of dirt on them, and they're not burned or injured at all.
Doreena, do you have the ring?
You open, you see this tattered bit of charred gold. It's like a lump. It's not even a ring anymore. And a little while later, the whole family comes. So it's the grandmother, the father, the son, the granddaughter, basically like 4 generations come. And as they're all there, they're saying, well, she's like, the old lady's like, "This isn't my house." And he's like,
No,
"Mom, they built a new house over where the old house was. The old house burned down, remember?" And she goes, "Oh, I remember. Yeah, it did burn down."
And we can show you where the old wine cellar was still, as a matter of fact.
He goes, "My brother and I used to hide down there."
Oh, really? You want to go take a
Oh.
look at it again? Because
You hear Ladula? Ladula, is that you? And you all see a spectral figure appear beside Doreena, because she's holding the lump of his wedding band.
nice.
And let everybody make a luck roll to see how the family reacts.
Dear God.
The owners of the
25.
house,
15.
they
Yay.
pull their son away and they flee back into the neighboring property.
30
So you all made it?
Yep.
Barely. 60 out of 60.
The little girl the ghost
Whoa.
is talking to says, "No great grandfather." And she says that my name is Castina. And the old lady says, "I'm Ladula." And he looks at her and he says, "But you're so old."
Don't be ageist, stupid ghost. Come on.
And he said, I thought I was looking for another ghost like me. I thought you died in the house." He goes, "No." She says, "Tulis and I got out." She says, "Tulis, where is he?" He's like, "He died many years ago. Father, it's been 65 years. More." And then her son goes, "It's been more than 65 years. I'm your grandson." And he says, "Look, I don't have much time." He says, "By the old oak at the edge of our property, I buried all of your mother's jewelry before the house started. I thought we would all leave as a family in the morning and I'd come back. We had to pack light, but the army came, the Brigantes came through too quickly. So I just tried to find you and your brother and your mother. And of course, none of you were home. I thought maybe you were in the basement hiding." And then the house just went up. So take that money and I guess make a good life for yourself. And she says, "Father, I've had a good life." She says, I had 4 children, 2 of which lived to adulthood. I'm a grandmother. She says, we don't need your money. You should have just gone to rest. And she goes, I couldn't until I knew you were all right. And she goes, we're all right. Go rest.
We're just like sobbing at this point.
And he just says, he just looks at all of you and says, thank you. He says, you're a brave woman for staying with me. I think I hear my wife calling me.
Oh.
Can I have my ring back? And as you look down, as he takes the lump, you see the gold band form back on his finger.
Oh my god, we're crying. Don't do this to me.
Is it gonna be like the Valentine's Day episode?
Yeah, this is gonna come out. Oh my god,
And he just fades away.
Oh, that's sweet.
Just happy.
All right, so this one is called Undying Embers.
Oh god.
Bravo, bravo.
Sorry, Regina.
Oh, it's fine. I'm a girl. It happens.
No, I cry way faster than you do.
I know
You
you
knew
do,
that
but
part was coming because I wrote it.
I love my dad. He's a jerk, but I love him. Oh god.
So they dig up the jewelry, and of course the tree is now just like a stump at the edge of the property. And lo and behold, there's a bag of money there.
Oh geez.
And the rich people who built the new house, they don't want it. And the family it belongs to, they're so grateful to you that you set this ghost to rest, they don't want it. So they give you guys 3,000 sesterces worth of antique jewelry.
Jesus Christ.
Wait, rich people don't want more money?
Well, you were helping them, and you never negotiated a fee. You were helping them out of the goodness of your own heart. So they said, "Take this as a gift from both of our families."
All right,
and that's the scenario.
That was really good.
I wanted to do something like you're going through Londinum. It's like I didn't want to do. You're going through the provincial capital. I don't want to do nothing. I definitely want to have a scenario set in the capital.
Yeah.
And if you're doing an urban scenario, what better than a haunted house?
Oh no, that's
right.
Perfect. That's
well
done.
After this, I'm going to insist that we stick around Londinium at least for a couple more days.
Oh god, yeah.
Plus, I met a very cute masseuse last night, so I'm really kind of.
I have some more reading to do.
I'm holding on to the jewelry. They are not allowed to go gambling. That's the only thing I'm going to say.
I'm done with gambling. The only other thing I need to send all my money to my family back in Rome.
That's fun.
All right, well, I'm glad that everybody enjoyed this. So, for setting the ghost to peaceful rest, because you could have fought him and just driven him off like an exorcist.
I can't believe we didn't do that, but
this one was a little too near and dear for me because basically that's what happened to my dad.
I rolled 6.
Right.
I rolled a 6 on 1d6. So you all get 6 sanity points back.
Nice.
Yay.
That might not bring some of you even.
Actually, I am now.
Yeah, that brings me up.
I'm almost at max.
All right, good. You guys got
that.
lucky. I rolled really well.
Speaking of lucky, any room for improvement?
All right, so any skills that you successfully rolled, you can roll to improve them. Roll your luck. If you fail that, you get 1d10 back.
Nope.
Sweet.
So
Yes.
No.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no. Damn it. God damn it. Again.
Oh well.
come here.
I rolled that exactly backwards. I first rolled a 10 and then a 10, but then a 0.
But you guys know your ghost lore. You knew that he had unfinished business. You knew that there had to be a physical tether.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. That is,
I watch a lot of Supernatural.
you were the first one that saw the smoke and like, I think this is a haunting. I think this is a manifestation.
Mm.
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. All right, I'm gonna go obsess over the news for a little bit. So
Yeah, it's damn near midnight where I am.
Yep.
Oh wow, yeah.
same. Oh my God, it is. Oh geez, yeah, I definitely gotta get off.
Hey, I gave you guys the out. You said you wanted to keep going, and there wasn't enough to stretch it at that
No,
point.
it was
so.
worth. It was
Once you
worth
said
it.
you wanted to keep going, I'm like, all right, we're fucking finishing. There's no turning back. We've got to finish now.
Right?
I wrote it to be like one thing. Stretching this out to like 2 sessions would have been really boring.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Forgive me.
It's a cabal of black kitties.
Raven, I am coming to bed soon. I know.
All right, guys.
Right.
See you in 2 weeks. So happy that you guys enjoyed it.
It was really good.
Yep,
After being so angry at the end of the last session, I wanted to get away from that. So
a night or two in the baths, and
all right, we'll pick up in Londinum so you guys can spend some of your money if you want and move on from there. All right, see everyone soon.
All right, take care.
Good night, everybody.
Peace.
We'll close out with our ads, though, real quick. If you are a coffee aficionado, we have coffee for sale still. The Legendary Brew is a nice, easy drinking medium roast coffee. If you use the code LEGENDS10, you're going to get 10% off your order, and shipping is always free. You can use the address tinyurl.com/legendary brew, or use the ridiculous slug that's in the show notes. There's also links to Golden Goblin Press. You go over and check that out. There's just been a new restock of the Cthulhu Invictus book. Britannia is still on the way, but please check that out as well. If you enjoy these games, you can play these yourself. We do have a Patreon as well. If you want to throw a couple of sesterces our way, that would be fantastic. If not, completely understandable. Time of COVID, everything sucks. But positive for the election, looks like, but it's too early to call, I guess. But thanks for checking us out, and we'll catch you next time.